Hi, and welcome to Jim's radio shop, where we're working on this Fleetwood 3-way 4-speaker record player, model 660. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this motor bearing off, the lower motor bearing, and clean it up and re-lubricate. I'm just going to get the right size here. That's not going to be it. This one might be. But no, it's not. How about this one? That's got it there. So most of these old record player motors have a lower motor bearing that can be serviced. In fact, needs to be serviced periodically. That screw was a little loose. Okay, now we'll pull the bearing off. Comes. Looks like there's the bearing. It looks bone dry to me. Did you get a look at that? I guess you did get a look at it, didn't you? And meanwhile, the motor itself, the motor rotor will not come out. That's okay, on this one it won't. Some of them it falls out. So we need to oil this guy up. These bearings also are very interesting. They're self-adjusting bearings, so they should, yeah, see it move there? See that? But it's not moving very good. It should move very easily. It's a little sticky there. So what that'll do is, no matter how you put this in, that's slightly out of alignment, this thing can adjust ever so slightly, bring it in alignment. So I think we want to put some oil on this guy. I'm going to put a whole drop into it here. Okay, and into the felt. And around this outer edge. And all over my hand. I was filling up my new oil can there, you just saw. And I got a little carried away. And I'm afraid I got so much oil in it that the oil leaks out the top. Right? So let's see if this is loosened up here at all. Well, the answer would be no, not at all. Very, very tight. Okay, so I'll straighten it up so it's reasonably straight. Don't want to damage the inside of that. We'll remount it. There we go. So that's not too hard to do, is it? Now the lower bearing, of course, the rotor sits in the lower bearing, or may sit in the lower bearing. I'm going to put a little grease on that. You know what? I'm going to put a little grease on that. I think I'm making a mistake if I don't. I just used some multi-purpose grease and wheel bearing lubricant. And what we'll do is we just, or this way, just drip a little, apply a little bit in there. No reason to put too much. Okay, let's reassemble. Now that's not likely to give much more power to the motor. I don't think that's in any way causing significant drag on the motor, but I might be wrong about it. It did seem to be quite dry. I suspect the drag is from other things. Usually it's a slipping idler wheel, and the wheel is slipping because the rubber's old and it just doesn't have the characteristics it used to have. It's not soft and grippy. Okay. In you go. It's not gonna drop that way. There we go. Okay, so it's right in the record player where it's supposed to be. Just feel pretty hopeless about this, but I think we gotta try it. Put that in place. The speed to 33. Apply some power. Start. That looks pretty slow to me. I hear it hitting that thing. Good thing. Give it full power, Scotty. 119 volts on my meter. You know, that might be 33. That looks more like 33. That looks like 78. I don't have my speed card handy, so I can't check it. But we could, of course, play a record. So let's get a record. So again, I will call on my oh so favorite disco heat. It's a 2-record set, man. My claim to fame. Well, I don't know who that is, so I'm not sure they have any claim to fame. We'll hit the reject. Here we go. Not a happy camper. And we'll put the record down ourselves. Right, come on, these usually are not that resistant. There we go. We're going to actually play this record. Oh, that's terrible. I'm not sure it's going to play properly. Sounds like the right speed though, eh? Yeah, the skipping is because there's something that's binding this, so that's another hint. Hint number 2. Okay, power off. Record off. I'm sure there are some repair guys that just soak these things in lubricant in the hopes that that'll just eliminate any problem you might have. So let's investigate this. I would not recommend lifting up a record player by the spindle either. That's not a good idea. Shame on me. Now, you know, I worked on a record player about 6 months ago. I had a very, very similar kind of problem here. There's a piece that's moving in there that's not moving the right way, I'd say. It may be harmless what it's doing, but it does not look right to me. So much of this mechanism is hidden by this plate, and I'm willing to bet if I try to take it apart, bad things will happen. There's often very loose, kind of flopping around pieces in these record players, and those are usually kind of like hair trigger parts that they're meant to move under very, very light effects. Something a little funny about this part too. And that's the part that drops the record. At its extreme position here, it seems to bump around a few things. Maybe that looks like a can there. We've never gotten the big drive wheel to move. Oh, that's a little interesting. It seemed to snap into some kind of definite position there. Makes me want to try it again. What a hassle. it still makes that sound. Power on. Safety's good. Power on. And start. And reject. See, the reject is also supposed to trigger that mechanism somehow. It's not. That's another hint. Okay, I'm going to call it quits for tonight. It's kind of late. I think I need to spend a little bit of time doing other things. So, I think I'm going to have to set up my mirror arrangement here so I can watch the mechanism operate underneath without flipping this thing over all the time, which is a little risky and a big hassle. So that's it for that. Still not working. We'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.